Hi, Stardust. I I should do a book review, but yesterday was my birthday, so I'm actually going to do a haul video for this one. I know, haul videos, who wants to do them? But it'll be really quick. It's just this shelf and then a small one, and I have a cart now for all this fun stuff to do. So, I'm gonna get is 3 through 5 of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I actually also bought one, even though I already had one, but they changed it. And I'm like, I'm not having this. It all has to be in order. So my godfather actually got me 3 through 5 for my birthday, and he also got me the three little extras. So I have Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Demigod Files, Demigod Diaries, and Camp Half-Blood Confidentials. And those are really cool. Those are all on my Amazon wish list, actually. And it was really great because he messaged me, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting all this. Great. I actually have 2 coming. That's coming from one of my friends in Canada. She's sending it to me as a birthday gift as well, along with I think she said the first 2 books of the next. So this one actually isn't one that I wanted to haul, but I have a dog and he ate it. It's called One Eye Laughing, the Other Eye Weeping. If you guys know anything about these are all really cool diaries that take place throughout history. And as you can see, it's a used one because someone wrote in the corner and someone wrote in the top. But it is basically a diary, and if you know any of these are all great. I used to read these when I was younger. This one in particular takes place during 1938. These are part of Dear America. This one starts in Vienna and it goes to New York. I got it specifically because, I know this time period. This is World War II time period, and I was very interested in it because the girl's name is Julia Weiss, and that's usually Jewish associated. My next 2 books are The Heroes of Olympus, 4 and 5. 4 and 5. These were gifts to my parents for my birthday, and I was really happy to get them because it means I can go get 3 if I need 3 and then just start going because Barnes & Noble is doing a sale with all of Rick Riordan's books. So this one is actually one from a recommendation that I took from one of the booktubers I like watching, Chelsea Palmer. I will put her link down in the description because she is amazing. She does a lot of unboxings, she does a lot of hauls, she does a lot of unhauls, but she's really funny and she's really great. And I have a whole list now because of books that she was sharing, and she gave synopses and I really like them. This one is called Saving Megan, and it's it's kind of like The Act, where you don't know if the daughter's really sick or if the mother's really making really interesting story. I mean, look at that cover though. That is haunting. The next one I have is actually more of a historical story. I like history things, so sometimes I'll have nonfiction things. This actually is called Bodies and Souls. It's the tragic plight of 3 Jewish women forced into prostitution in the Americas. I actually saw this while I was away at a women's writers conference. One of the girls who was working at the front desk for the college we were at had it, and I was just so intrigued. She had the hardback. I have the paperback, and it's really interesting to me because you never know what happened to some of these people when they got to the U.S. or to South America, because it says Americas. So I'm gonna expect that there was at least one who ended up in the South. Sorry. My next one is actually a Grail book because this is so hard to find. I found it in the used bookstore where I got a lot of things the other day. And it's called The Last Rite. It's part of a trilogy. No, cover! It's part of a trilogy that follows a that follows a young girl. It's part of the Personal Demons novel, and the tag for it is "What happens when you can't outrun hell or trust the ones you love." And I've read the first 2 books for this. Once I read this, I will give a full review on those. It's been a while, but I remember them. I remember a lot of the books I read. But this is like the grail book for me. Like, it's like I would go to Barnes and Noble and they wouldn't have it. I would look on Amazon and they wouldn't have it, and I would just be like, ah! This is the last one I needed, and I have it, and I'm happy. The next one is actually, this was my birthday present to myself, because yesterday was also the release of, if you know anything about Stalking Jack the Ripper series, yesterday was the release of the 4th and final installment of this series. So I got Escaping Human Dating, which, as you can see, I'm like 10 chapters from being done already, and Capturing the Devil, which, I mean, these covers, all the covers she has, they are absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, and I think they are what drag me in the most, since I don't do thriller. But I'm gonna give like a really quick thing of how I think of these. I came up with it yesterday. It kind of hit me as like a mix between Downton Abbey and Criminal Minds. Because you have like the upper class of the early 1900s and late 1880s, 1800s, and yet you throw murder in and a girl trying to get into that of a murderer. I will do a full review once I have finished all 4 books, because I really don't want to do it right now, because I need to cry before I give a review on them, because I already feel like crying half the time when I read them. But this is by Kerri Maniscalco. She has an Instagram and it's beautiful, and you should go follow her. But yes, these were the exciting part of my day yesterday as I got them. I literally curled up and started reading when I got home yesterday. This one was a gift from one of my parents for my birthday. It's more of like a textbook-like thing, but it's something I'm really interested in. It's a Jewish woman's spirituality, and it follows 4 centuries of Jewish women. And it was something my rabbi suggested to me as something interesting to read for my studies at the time, and I was still really interested in reading it. And the last and final book is actually a sequel to another book. I was checking to make sure I had them all. Is a sequel to another book by Judy Peccola and her daughter Samantha Van Leer. And it is off. I have the first book somewhere on my shelves. I can't find it right now, and I really don't want to walk away too long. Here it is. This is the companion to Between the Lines. And I can actually tell you guys that this actually takes the idea of what if with children's books, like picture books and the Hero Saves the Princess books, and it kind of puts you in that mindset, and they're all really interesting, and I've wanted to get this since I finished the last one because it's really interesting. This is actually a mother-daughter, so it's even more interesting. But just because like the way they end the first book, you're like, I want to know what happens. I want to know if this goes the way I think it goes. So basically, it follows kind of like what most fangirls like to do, which is fall in love with fictional characters that don't really exist. And it kind of takes that to like, what if though? And it's all really interesting and great. This is such a beautiful spine. I'm not actually going to lose this desk cover. I lose desk covers, as you will learn, the more I do. Oh, I opened it. And then, I can lose the desk cover because that is just as beautiful as the desk cover, and it kind of has a little indentation of a young man and woman coming out of the book like it does on the front. And I got this at a used bookstore as well. I got like 3 of these from a used bookstore. But yeah, no, that was fun, and I have like 3 different stacks right now because all the little ones are together and all the big ones are together, and then the ones that I'm like, okay, I gotta get to those first, or like in another. So yeah, it was an interesting day yesterday, and Monday I went to the used bookstore on Monday and I turned things in. You got new things. If any of you are interested where I got my used books, I went to 2nd and Charles, and I will leave that name in the description as well, so that if any of you have any near you, you know that they're good. They have a lot. So that is all I have for you today. This is a really fun haul. I also got these yesterday with that. But if you like this video, comment down below that you want to see more hauls. They may not be as all later Stardust. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment what you want me to do, or if you would like to see a certain book that you think I may have on my shelves. So I will see you all next week. Bye!